So, trying to do my final setup here, and as you can see, one of the batteries is still over there. And I'm using these little 3,000 watt inverters because for some reason this one just stops working. Alarm, fault, yes. Doesn't tell you why. It just all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe it's this battery DC. Volt's too high. I mean, right there's my battery bank. 86%. This is reading 54.1. Let's go over here. 53.75. 53.79. 53.77. 5.5 amp draw, 3.93 amp draw, 5.36 amp draw, less than 1,000 watts total. Let's see how much amps are going in through the panel. There you go. Or watts, I apologize. 645 watts total. Nothing crazy. You know, nothing crazy at all. You know, it's just literally disgusting. I'm super unhappy with this thing is quadruple as loud as the all-in-one 3,000 watt charge controller / inverters. So that's where we're at. We have no idea why it shuts down. I've been emailing them today. I ask about 10 questions and they reply with one. When he says they can't communicate, originally I was writing about the charge controller shutting down at night. And then when it shuts down at night, the next morning it comes on and says cannot communicate. Batteries are up, on, everything's working as they should, yet this isn't charging. I'll walk over there and I'll just turn that battery and turn it back on. And then this thing all of a sudden starts communicating again. And so he's avoiding the question of why this won't shut down at night, or why this keeps shutting down. It's charge controller. Come to find out after reading, he did say the inverter, he goes, their 3-phase inverter doesn't communicate with the batteries. And I said, well, what about with your charge controller? And I got no answer about their charge controller communicating with the inverter. I'll probably make a video and run through the emails so you can see the answers that they're giving us. And I haven't posted it yet. I was going to wait and see if they responded back and helped me get this thing all set up, maybe figure I'm doing something wrong. But I had a video. I don't want to talk too much about it, but this big Mac Daddy 18,000 watt 3-phase heavy load contraption here would not even turn on my, I think it was 15 or 1600 watts, my little air compressor out here. And I had a 250 foot cable spool here, and I'm like, hey, maybe something's wrong. Maybe that's why. I had a 250 foot roll, some extension cords. I had a lot going on. I'm like, maybe it just can't push it that hard. I literally disconnected it from that inverter over there, brought it over to this inverter, hooked it up, and it started just fine. So, $800. $800. I got 4 of those. I really like them. I can tell you more than likely I won't be using anything Sigineer power again. I was actually super positive on them early on in some of my other videos. But they never could get 3 of them to work together in 3-phase, which is why I started looking for a three-phase inverter. And I got this. And this thing cost $6,000. Now, this one, they said they had a problem. It looks like a forklift driver stabbed the side of it over here. So I had to take this plate off and fix it and bend it. So I did get it less than $6,000. Thank gosh, because it doesn't seem like it works properly. I'll send this video to them and give you guys an update and see if they get back with me. But middle of the day, charge controller's charging 86% on these 3 batteries. I have a refrigerator and a deep freezer plugged in. I think these lights are plugged in. Another 30 watts per light or something if I turn them on. I walked over there to get lunch. I had some people, I got cameras set up all over the property so people can enjoy the project. There's one right there. And they said, hey, something's wrong with the inverter. Come over here. And so it just says inverter mode. Alarm, yes. Fault, yes. If it tells you what it is, I really don't know. Let me click through these. Maybe these will help any of Franklin's team for troubleshooting. After the last few emails, I'm starting to wonder if they even want to deal with America anymore. I don't really know. Last year, he seemed very helpful and very kind and very willing to help. And I was out of the loop for a while. Got this project back going again. And he's just one answer email replies. So, there we go. There we go. That's the load that's on it. 0.4. It's like 400 watts. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Turn it on, it works. It's throwing air codes. It's on lithium batteries. There's not very many settings on here. Lithium batteries. And you know, you got this. By the way, Franklin told me to read the manual. The manual. Let me show you what this. There's no instructions for this. What this does in the manual. Dipper switches. They tell you right here what they are. So, besides these, turning this knob, which you have no idea what it does. I do believe I found it online once, and it didn't really matter. I think it's the amount of charge current when you're charging your battery. I believe. After lots of research, I found that. But, you know, they don't know, hey, are your dipper switches in the right position? Hey, have you done this? Hey, have you done that? Just one-line answers. That's all the help I'm getting now. And, by the way, the manual. When they say read the manual, this, to me, looks like what a manual should be. Professional. You read, you look at it. It tells you the error codes, everything. This is the printout that I received for that. And he said, did you read the manual? And of course I have. You know, it's, I don't know. You know, you would think for a company that's maybe trying to expand, you know, you'd think they'd have a little more customer service. You know, especially these things. They're pretty expensive. But I did watch a YouTube video, and some guy had one of these set up, and he said he pulled it. He didn't say why. You know, I was assuming after I used it a little bit last year, I set it up over at the other place just for a week or two to see if it would run the 3-phase air conditioning units I have. It did. It ran them just fine. But it used a lot more standby power. And I'm assuming if somebody had a small system, they wouldn't want to use that much standby power. And I just assumed that's why the guy pulled it from his build. But I'm starting to think there may be other reasons why he pulled it from his build and ended up getting different inverters. So, Franklin, I'm going to go ahead and send this one to you too. I'm going to reread this manual from start to finish, front to back, again, see if I can figure out why this thing keeps throwing error codes. But if I can't figure it out, if you wouldn't mind being so kind to try to troubleshoot it with me, that would be great. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.